welcome back to Flat Tire Farm. Let me show you what I got on my last Azure standard order. But first, we always go through the updates of the stuff that I made and what I did with the stuff I got on the last orders. So, it's planting season. So Mr. Eve is again trying to grow pear trees from those organic pears that we got, I think, on our very first or second Azure standard order. The first pears that he tried to grow grew just fine. We'll see if they overwinter, which is highly unlikely here in Alaska, but we're trying again. Now on our last Azure standard order, I got big cases of frozen berries, and if you follow my canning videos, you'll probably have watched that I made strawberry syrup and raspberry syrup and blueberry syrup, and that has gone over very well. Another thing I've been experimenting with, which I think I perfected the recipe, and eventually I'll come out with a video for you, is I made a blueberry bourbon barbecue sauce, and I'm very excited about that. Okay, those are the successes. Okay, the failures. Or the, I don't know, experiments that went horribly wrong. I have this huge aversion to using boxed pectin just because it's like $3 or $4. And why would, if I'm going to make homemade jam or homemade jelly, I don't want to add a $4 price tag into my one batch because I have to buy a box of pectin. So I am all about no pectin or natural pectin recipes. And so I made a no pectin strawberry jam and a no pectin blueberry jam. It doesn't really say strawberry jam on the top of this jar. It happens to say strawberry tar. And that's because if I was going to tell you a lesson today, it would be to make sure you have the right tools for the right job. So when you make no pectin strawberry jam or berry jam, a berry that has its own pectin in it, you need a candy thermometer that goes to 220 degrees. And if you have a candy thermometer, well, they go to 220. But I didn't have a candy thermometer. I just have this quick read meat thermometer and it goes to 220. And so I figured, whoa, that's close enough. We can make it happen. It did not make it happen because if you've watched my canning videos, you see I wear a big orange rubber glove that's pretty heat proof, but you can only hold your hand over boiling sugar for so long before it gets too hot. And then I had to take the thermometer out, stick it back in, take the thermometer out, stick it back in. And so what I think had happened is I got it way more than 220 degrees for way too long. And so it is like tar. Like, I don't even know how I'm going to get it out of this jar. I think I'm probably going to have to heat it up and try to add water to it and see if I can do something with it. Maybe make a makeshift horrible syrup out of it. Mr. Reeve is really great to me and he will eat anything. So yay for Mr. Reeve. I'll find a way to use this. But, so why do you not have a candy thermometer, Crystal? What is wrong with you? You do all this cooking stuff. You have no candy thermometer. Come on, what's going on? Well, because the candy thermometers I had two of them. And so when we moved off grid, we got rid of a bunch of our stuff. And so I got rid of my other glass thermometer. And so I just had one and I used it. And last year I was making citrus jelly and it broke inside my batch. Like the glass shattered inside my batch and it all got thrown away. And so I thought, well, I'm never buying another glass candy thermometer again. And I was telling my wonderful neighbor that story as to that's why I don't have a candy thermometer. And look what she got me. Thanks, Miss Linda. She found me a metal one. Maybe there's this thing and everybody knows that there's metal candy thermometers, but I don't know. It's an epiphany in my brain that they make metal ones. So hopefully the next batch will come out better. Okay, long story short, I think that's all the updates. Okay, sorry for the rambling. Enough of that. Let's get on to what I got this time, okay? So I got a 14-pound box of banana chips, which are so good. If you watched maybe a video or two ago of our Azure standard videos, we got a 1-pound bag. It lasted about 1.5 seconds because they're really good. They're not over sweet like some of the ones I've gotten in the store, and they're organic bananas with cooked in organic coconut oil and organic cane sugar. And that's it. So I'm really happy to have this as a more healthy snack than potato chips, which we love way too much. So this is my replacement for the case of potato chips that I often get on our Azure standard order. Other things I bought. When I buy things on Azure Standard, I always look in the clearance section because if you didn't know, I'm really cheap. I'm really, really cheap. And so they sometimes will sell products that are just recently expired or really soon to be expired for 50% off. Now, I mean, no disrespect to Clif Bar people or the Clif Bar company, but I think it's really expensive. It's often way too expensive for me to pay for. But when they're 50% off, it provides, I think these bars were, with the 50% off, it was a little bit more than $1 a bar. And I really like, especially for the summertime when Mr. Reeve is like out in the garden or chopping down trees, or he's always out working on something. This year he's going to build a barn. I like him to have a high protein snack. So I always buy him granola bars or something like that. And so I'm really excited that this is an option for him this summer. So we've kind of stocked up on those. So I got these for a little bit more than $1 a bar because they were, like I said, I think they were expired. And like, you can eat expired food, but let's just not get on that bandwagon right now, okay? Here's some other Clif Bars. These are more like it's a Clif Bar Duo, but it's just half peanut butter, half brownie flavored. So, but they were less than $1 a piece with the 50% off. So I just stocked up on a bunch of that kind of stuff. So that was good. Okay. Other things I decided that I really wanted to do is start putting more seeds in what we're eating. Seeds have high nutritional content, and I looked up kind of the shelf life of seeds, and some seeds have a longer shelf life than others. And when I look at buying things in bulk, I look at, can I preserve it or does it have a decent shelf life? And so we bought some seeds this time. I bought 5 more pounds of chia seeds just because I like to put them in my water, and I've been drinking the tar out of chia seeds. They're really high in fiber. They're good for your digestion, good for your circulation system, good for lots of stuff, okay? Okay, this one is a 5-pound bag of white organic sesame seeds, and its typical shelf life, I think, is 9 months to a year in a cool place. And if you put it in an airtight situation, then like in a canning jar with a canning lid and an oxygen absorber and a moisture absorber, then it could last even longer than that. And so still the question is, what are you going to do with 5 pounds of it? Well, if you make hummus, you usually put tahini in there, and tahini is like pureed sesame seeds. But it goes bad really quick once the sesame seeds get pureed. It doesn't have the shelf life like a year, like the regular whole sesame seeds will. So typically I've been just putting toasted sesame oil in the hummus when I make it, but this gives me another option. Also, we're going to put sesame seeds in bread, and there's this really yummy sesame candy that I want to try to make, and a sesame snack. So I got all kinds of sesame seed plans. We'll see how it works out, okay? All right, so let's talk about the pricing. The things that I buy from Azure Standard are things that I can find cheaper on Azure Standard than I can find locally or on Amazon. And in some cases, I can find an organic product on Azure Standard cheaper than I can get the non-organic or generic kind at Walmart and or Amazon. And these sesame seeds are one of those things. Now, this is a 5-pound bag, but we're just going to talk about it 1 pound at a time. So 1 pound of this bag of sesame seeds is $3.70, and that includes the cost of freight to get it here, okay? And this is organic. Now, I can buy non-organic sesame seeds on Amazon for $4.60. So already I'm saving 90 cents by getting a organic, higher quality product on Azure Standard than I can get on Amazon. Now, if I were to buy sesame seeds at Walmart, and they don't sell them in great big bags, they just sell them in the little plastic Great Value shakers, it's over $18 for a pound of sesame seeds, and that's just the generic non-organic kind, okay? Now, these poppy seeds, I make soap, and someday I'll get to making the videos of it. I apologize for all of you people that are waiting for that, but I'll get there when I get there. So I bought this pound of poppy seeds, okay? And this pound of poppy seeds with shipping was $4.50, okay? Now, if I were to buy a pound of poppy seeds on Amazon, it's about $11, okay? And I can buy poppy seeds in bulk on Amazon. Well, I can't buy poppy seeds in bulk at Walmart, but I can buy these little jars of it. And if I bought a pound's worth of these little jars at Walmart, it'd be $28 for a pound of poppy seeds. And like, that's all great if you only need a little bit of poppy seeds. Like, it's totally worth it to spend the $5 for this container if you just use a little bit of poppy seeds. But I use poppy seeds in muffins and in dressings and in bulk in soap. So for me, using a pound of poppy seeds is not going to be a big deal. Okay, other things that I got, we have just a couple things left. I have a 5-pound bag of blanched and diced almonds. I have gotten 3 more Gamma lids for my 5-gallon buckets for our storage because I'm desperately trying to clean up the pantry downstairs and get everything organized. And I have one experimental item that I have saved to do in front of you, so we'll see together if it worked or not. Now I bought just one of these 2-gallon Gamma Seal bucket lids because I want to see if it's going to work for me. If you've ever tried to buy food safe buckets, they're ridiculously expensive for a plastic bucket. So what I do is when I'm in town, I go to Walmart and I go to their cake decorating section, and they often have empty frosting buckets. Now this is frosting that came to them, they decorated cakes with it, and then they're left with this food grade bucket. So they sell them for, I think ours is like $1.26 or $1.28, which is way cheaper than the $7 or $8 that they want to charge you for a plastic food grade bucket anywhere else. So these come with lids when you buy them, but they're not great for food storage. They're good for maybe dry storage, and we usually use them for pig buckets for scraps and whatnot, but they're not going to be good for long-term food storage. So I wanted to get this 2-gallon Gamma lid and see if it'll fit. But I didn't want to buy a whole bunch of them if I wasn't sure they were going to fit. So you just unscrew the lid part, and there's a little rubber gasket in there which creates a little bit more of an airtight seal. And so looks like it fits on there, but the hard part is, will it pop on there all the way around? Oh my goodness. Sometimes you have to get a hammer for these Gamma lids. Oop. Okay, I think that's it. We got it on there. Yay! So, if I want to store something, let's say I really wanted to buy a whole bunch of poppy seeds, and I wanted like 15 pounds of it, then I could store it in here, not have to store it in a 5-gallon bucket, and I have 2-gallon food storage for long-term shelf storage. I hope you enjoyed my Azure Standard video. If you're interested in Azure Standard and doing some price checking and seeing if you can get things that are cheaper organic than you can at your local store, I'll put a link in the description below. It'll take you to their website and you can do your price checking. As always, thanks for joining us on Flat Tire Farm. I'll catch you on the next video, guys.